Hello, everyone. It's your sister Roland, and all I need is a few minutes because recently, I think sometime last week, a new victim has come out with a lawsuit against Sean Diddy Combs, Sean Brother Love Combs, whatever his name is, because he has a lot of names. So this was filed in New York with the same lawyer that helped Cassie get that lawsuit, mean that settlement actually, so quickly. And no one is surprised about this because a lot of us knew this was going to happen. Especially the fact that he settled so quickly. We knew this was going to happen. So this is a second young lady that came out, and she came with receipts. She came with a lot of receipts. And she, unlike Cassie, I believe she dealt with Diddy at the age of 19. This young lady was even younger. So we're going to look at the part of the lawsuit. It's called factual allegations. Though they are allegations, but they do have some facts to back it up. So it's not like the normal allegations. It's factual. It has facts behind it. So in 2003, Miss Miss Doe was a 17-year-old 11th grader residing in a suburb of Detroit, Michigan. So she was 17 and she was a junior or 11th grader, whatever you want to say. So, and they wanted to note that at the time, Mr. Combs was 34 years old. 34 years old. And we're not really going into all of the lawsuit. It's something in this lawsuit that I need to point out. Gonna go to line 22. It says on one evening between the spring and fall of 2003, Ms. Doe was out with friends. It was not uncommon for her and her friends to frequent bars and lounges in the Detroit area. Certain certain of Ms. Doe's friends were all connected with people in the music industry. So this is what I wanted to point out because a lot of people went over the lawsuit, read the lawsuit, but this is what I wanted to point out because this is a mistake I see a lot of parents do. And many people were asking, she's 17, she's in high school, she's 11th grader. Where are her parents? Why is this 17-year-old going to bars? Because it says it's not uncommon for her and her friends to freaking bars and lounges at 17 years old. You can't drink. Certain stuff you can't. You're not even supposed to be there. But why did this happen? But this happens a lot because many parents and some parents start at different ages. When their kids are a little independent, they're able to do certain stuff on their own. They just leave um, the kids, the young boys, young girls, to their own self to make their decisions to do whatever. Since they're older. Some people may start at 12. Some people is 14. Some people is 15. Some people is 17. So they don't, keep tabs on them. They don't watch over them like they're supposed to. They just leave them to their own self, trusting that, hey, you're older now, you can make better decisions, but not knowing there are predators. They're not knowing that they are predators and they are evil, wicked people like these people out there that's being accused of these stuff, like Diddy and all of his friends that are being accused of these evil, wicked stuff. We, as parents, we cannot, it doesn't matter how old the child is, they're still young. They don't know the dangers that are out there. And that's why you as the parent supposed to protect your child from these type of people. Yes, you're not going to be able to protect them each and every step of the way, but at least to know, hey, if you're going to do certain stuff you don't have no business doing, if your conscience is telling you something, if you are hesitant, don't do it. A 17-year-old hanging out with people that have connections in the music industry. Many of these people in the music industry are not good people. And as we can see what happened to this young lady that night, they gave her all kind of stuff, and then they in turn, one after the other, supposedly three people took advantage of her and changed the trajectory of her life. But why was the parents not on top of, her whereabouts? It's so shocking to me because I have family members that work in the school system. I have family members that work in the school system, and you have parents that are calling to see if their child is at school. Oh, I'm checking to see if they're at school. Why don't you know your child is at school? Even though you may not be able to, some people work early, they're not able to drop their kids at school, but at least you should your child should be you should know that your child is at school. You shouldn't have to call somebody else to know the child that you live with if they are at school or not. And this is happening. Some people just leave these kids to their own way, and we cannot do that because of these wicked people that are out there. And of course, people are gonna come here. Also, now you're victim blaming. Whatever, you could say whatever you want. I'm trying to warn the other parents that their child, they let their child do whatever, or they don't watch them as they should. They just trust them to know that, hey, you're gonna make good decisions or whatever. Sometimes your child does make good decisions, but the people that they may hang out may not, and then they may fall into peer pressure, or sometimes they may get caught up. Sometimes the child, they want to leave, but they hanging out with certain people that want to do certain stuff they don't have no business doing, and then your child is stuck. And then sometimes they can't really reach out to you because you don't even know they was doing what they was doing. So we have to be very mindful. It's a shame. It's so sad that what happened to this young lady, but she didn't know. She was going out having fun with friends. She didn't know that night was going to change her life, was going to leave a mark on her life. 20 years later, and now she has the opportunity. I mean, it's not really justice, but at least a lot of people to put it out there that yeah, this guy is no good. So yeah, she's not gonna probably pay like how he's supposed to pay, like go to jail and stuff like that. But at least his image is gonna put down his image. At least she'll get that. But she suffered 20 years, and you don't know what she went through. Because if they were giving her alcohol and drugs at that young age, she may have suffered from substance abuse. Her relationships may have been affected. She the trajectory of this young lady's life totally changed. So we don't want this to keep on happening. We don't want to keep. We have to be stay on top of our kids. It doesn't matter how old they are. It doesn't matter, because I just heard this lady. She said her mother. It didn't matter how old she was. Her mother, certain stuff she did, certain stuff her mother would still call her out, and she would still go and ask for her mother's advice, because she says she doesn't know everything. And that's how it should be. It shouldn't be that, oh, now, because I've heard people say that, oh, now, Sean, my child is 18, I'm good. I'm good. They don't parent like they should. You're a parent. You're not a parent up until 18 years old. Or, well, some people start early, up until 13 years old. You're a parent forever. But I guess some people, they don't see it that way. So anyway, we'll see how um, this lawsuit turns out. Obviously, it didn't have the result that Cassie had with the 24-hour settlement, but we'll see how this turns around. And the other people that's going to come out too with their allegations, because we know it's way more people. This man has done way more stuff. He probably, you never know, he probably doing damage control, trying to reach out, trying to remember all the people, look at old pictures, trying to remember all the people that he, screwed over, and try to reach out to them to give them some hush money. That's not surprising of this man, because yeah, he is crumbling. His empire is crumbling down. His image is crumbling down, because in life, whatever you sow, you will reap. And the thing is, you don't know when you're going to reap. You don't know how you're going to reap, but you're going to reap. And when you reap, you're going to feel the sting of it. And at least this young lady will somehow, hopefully she gets, some kind of settlement, I guess, to help her. But she spent 20 years with thing in her life. So that's a lot of work that's gonna have to be done. I don't know if she's doing the work, but it's so sad, man. There's so much wicked people out there. We have to protect our children, our young adults at all times. No, always praying for them, always keeping tabs on them, even though they're not gonna tell you everything, but always giving them advice and stuff. Like, you feel something, you feel that, hey, I should call my daughter, I should call my thing. Don't hesitate. Do not dismiss your intuition. Teach them how to not to dismiss their intuition. Always trust their intuition. Something doesn't feel right, leave. You should always be a parent, no matter the age of your child. It shouldn't stop because of the people that are in this world. There are wicked people in this world, and then when they get in contact with your children, and if they're able to do what they need to do, they will change the trajectory of your child's life. This child that you had so much promise was, or had so much potential, and then this child just changed. And some parents don't never ever know what happened to their children. All they know, the child was fine one day, and then the next day they totally changed, and they were never able to bounce back from that. So we don't want this to keep on happening. So that's all I had to say. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.